Hi everyone, welcome back to another video from B-GHUD Academy. We are here with another video to showcase certain things that you need to remember for your part 1 of the speaking test, which is the warm-up session. I have Alfonso and Jasmine with me today. If you haven't watched our previous videos yet on B-GHUD discussions, we have done a lot of useful videos in the past. I'll make sure that we'll pin some of these links in the description box below. Please make sure that you watch those videos too and support us. Before we begin today's video, I wish to clarify certain things. Even though there are a lot of informative videos available online, it's always a good idea to choose a good coaching center to attend a training, because when it comes to speaking, writing, listening and reading, which are the 4 modules of the IELTS test, it's very important for you to get a clear guidance to assess your progress. Let's take the example of the speaking test. You need to have a good assessment as on what you speak, a good teacher to correct your mistakes, and you need to attend a lot of mock tests. So merely by watching these videos would just help you to develop some ideas, but in order to get an assessment and to know how good are you at that particular module before you go for your test, it's very important to attend the coaching. So let's begin today's video. So the first topic that we are going to discuss today is related to daily routine, which is one of the commonly asked questions for the speaking test. Let's begin today's video by asking Jasmine a part 1 question. Let's begin today's video by asking Jasmine a question first. How do you organize your study time?
I prefer studying in the mornings usually, so I make sure I prepare a timetable and I try to follow that to my best possible way. And I also prefer studying in the evenings as well, according to my timetable. So that's how I organize my study time.
That was a pretty good answer. She answered it properly in lengths, but again she used a lot of conjunctions in between, especially and. Again, towards the end, she repeated the same sentence again by concluding the answer using so. Please make sure that you speak in 2 to 3 sentences in part 1 of the speaking test. Try to avoid repetitions and always remember to speak in lengths. Right, so the next question is to Alfonso. Do you ever change your plans?
Not really. I like to stick to my plans because it makes me uncomfortable when I make some changes. If in case it's a compulsory and unavoidable thing, in those scenarios, I would do that.
She did a pretty good job to answer this question. Again, it is recommended if you can come up with a complex sentence. For example, she was a bit confused towards the end when she wanted to convey an idea. So for the same answer, she could have come up with a complex sentence. For example, she could have said, no, I don't, until and unless it's something that's absolutely essential, or until and unless it's an unavoidable situation. So that makes the answer much clearer compared to what she said. So the next question. Jasmine, have you ever changed your routine?
Oh yes, many times. Depending on my work schedule, my studies and other factors, I've always had to follow different kinds of routines.
She did a pretty good job to answer this question. Her answer was crisp and clear, but it is always recommended to add more sentences to the answer. Her answer was limited to 1 sentence also. Although the sentence was a bit lengthy, if she had tried to add in 1 more sentence there, then that would have been a perfect answer. So we have our next question. What's your favorite time of the day, Alfonso?
I like evenings the most because that's when I feel totally free from work and other activities. I'll be having a cup of tea with my friends or my roommates or even my family members, having chit chat. That's the time.
The answer she said was pretty good. She managed to speak in lengths and came up with good synonyms, but she made a minute grammatical mistake there. She said she used the word will, which refers to an action in the future tense. But the question clearly states about her favorite time of a day. which is a question in simple present tense. So she should not have used will to state the answer. Towards the end, she mentioned, I'll be having a cup of tea. For that, instead of that, it's much better to say, in fact, it is right to say, most of the evenings, I have a cup of tea with my family members, right? So please be very careful with the usage of will, as a lot of students tend to go wrong here. Coming up with unnecessary usage of will, again, is wrong in the present context. Jasmine, do you like to plan your day in advance?
I like to plan my days in advance. Sometimes I like to go with the flow, but mostly I prefer to have an outline or a skeleton plan for my days so that I know what is ahead of me and I'm not unprepared for things. But still, at times I like to go with the flow also. I don't really prefer having a very structured day. I feel it becomes very monotonous and boring. So I think a mixture of both.
Well, Jasmine, that answer was a bit confusing. She spoke in bits and pieces. Her answer was not at all clear. When it comes to the speaking test, it's very important for you to state answers in a way not to confuse the examiner. In other words, you should have some clarity when you speak an answer. For the same question, she talked about certain instances when she planned her day and certain times when she did not, which makes the answer confusing to the listener. This should not be the case. Your answer should be crisp and clear and should be easily understandable by the listener. Make sure that it is always a good idea to stick on to one point of view. You can either say a yes or a no. That is the simplest way to come up with reasons or justifications for your answer. So a much better way of answering the question is like this: yes, I do. It helps me to prioritize my duties and responsibilities effectively. This, in fact, has made me a better professional. See, this answer is pretty clear. I stated 3 good sentences without any confusion at all. This is very important again when it comes to the speaking test. Okay, so the next question is, do you want to change anything in your daily routine?
I'd like to add more hobbies in my daily routine, like reading books or listening to music or watching any series, because I feel that it will definitely help me to improve my language.
That again was a bit of a confusing answer. She also hesitated a bit to convey the answer effectively. It's always a good idea if you could, along with coaching, try and practice speaking for yourself. When you're alone, try to open up your mind and speak out ideas for yourself. There are a lot of questions available online where you can check and think of ideas. Remember, in part 1, it's very important to come up with synonyms and speaking lengths. 2 to 3 sentences is the ideal length when it comes to speaking in part 1. Make sure that your answers are clear. For example, for the same question, I could come up with an answer like this. I wish to start reading in order to utilize my time more effectively. These days, I waste a lot of time on social media and I wish to change it and read some books, which would definitely help to improve my knowledge. So the next question, could you please describe your typical daily routine?
My daily routine involves me waking up at 6 a.m. Around 6:37, I like to have my cup of coffee, after which I play with my pets and make sure that I feed them, after which I go to my college. My college is from 9 to 4 p.m. and after that I go out to play with my friends, or I go out to meet with my friends and hang out with my friends. Around 8 or 9 p.m. I like to go to bed so that I have a fresh start to the next day, and that's how my daily routine is.
That was a very good answer. She clearly stated her daily routine in detail. Remember, this is such kind of a question where candidates might tend to go off topic because they may keep on elaborating, specifying the time each time of the day, keeping on expanding on this particular topic, which should be avoided. Her answer was spot on. She explained everything briefly yet clearly. So please try to answer like that in part 1. So as we have demonstrated here, it's very important for a trainer to listen to your answer and correct you and give necessary suggestions accordingly. when you listen to their answers, it's quite alright, but with the help of a trainer, it would be much better for you to understand the small and minute mistakes that candidates tend to make. This is very important for the IELTS speaking test. Remember, IELTS is a very structured test where there is a particular pattern that they follow. When it comes to speaking, they assess candidates based on 4 evaluation criteria. And it is very important for the candidates to stick on with these assessment criteria in order to get a better maths score. As we have shown in this video, they have made a lot of mistakes here and there, even though they sounded all right, and then I corrected their mistakes. Similarly, when you attend a coaching, an instructor, an expert trainer, just like the ones we have here at B-GHUD, would definitely be there to guide you properly to make you achieve your better maths score. Thanks a lot once again for watching our videos. We will be uploading a lot more educational contents related to IELTS and General English. Stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed our channel, please do subscribe it. Also, share these videos with your friends as it can be highly beneficial in their preparations.